The way a candidate runs their campaign is very telling of what type of America we're going to expect under their leadership. As I've said before, I enjoy the decentralized nature of the Tulsi Gabbard campaign. She has minimal staff. She's being very fiscally responsible. Most of the people that support her are doing it for the love. I am not paid for this, and I am not affiliated with the campaign in any official capacity. I have no financial connection there. Basically, I can do whatever I want. I don't think it's fair that Lis Smith is paid $24,000 of Mayor Pete's money every month to help reform his image and protect his character. $24,000 a month. I don't even make that in a year. Think about whoever it is you support, whether it's Bernie or Yang or Tulsi or Amy, who cares? Whoever it is, I want you to use your imagination and think about what you could do if you had a team of people underneath you and you were given $24,000 every month. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg recommended 2 people to Mayor Pete's staff. Eric Mayofsky, former Quora data analytics organizing data manager. Nina Warnhoff, machine learning engineer. I want you to ask yourself, why would a political campaign need artificial intelligence? I want you to think about that. Brian Guggenheimer, he's a software engineer. I don't know how much he gets paid, but why would a political campaign need software engineers on staff? Hey, I've read that there are people who've tried to make apps or even video games for Yang. I think that's great. Can you imagine how far you could go with that if you were paid? Now, a lot of this stuff isn't very visible. Mayor Pete has a strong ground game because they have the money to pay organizers. I'm in South Jersey and I'm trying to collect signatures to get Tulsi on the ballot. And there are other people around me, but I use my imagination to think about how far could we go and how quickly could we do it if we were getting paid for it. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, I like how Tulsi is not taking dirty money, and she's keeping her books very clean. That's the way I want to run America. If you want something to do with this, if you want a part of this, you're not in it for the money. You're in it for the love. And I find it insulting that Mayor Pete has to pay people to support him. That's not the kind of America that I want to run. Mick Baccio. This guy scares the hell out of me. Master hacker. Mick is one of the smartest people in the country, and he is getting paid $8,400 a month, every month, to handle Mayor Pete's network security. This guy was former intelligence officer for the Obama administration. What was his actual title? Let's take a look real quick. Chief Information Security Officer, Mick Baccio. Branch Chief for Threat Intelligence in the Executive Office of the President, Obama administration. Cyber Threat Analyst for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Senior Analyst at Cyber Squared. Deputy Security Operations Center Lead at the FDA. Tier 2 Security Analyst at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. I'm not going to read you this guy's entire resume, but this guy's a master hacker. And the type of intel that I've been doing, I got pages and pages of this. Mayor Pete has 500 people who are paid to support him, and I'm finding out what they eat for breakfast. I'm using low-tech methods and psychic operations, action at a distance, which are beyond Mick's experience. He knows how to hack. He knows how to take control of any machine. He knows how to see exactly what you're typing, so you better watch out what you say online. Everything you've heard about the NSA, everything that Snowden and Assange have ever told you, this guy is capable of reverse engineering everything that the NSA is doing. And they have the money and the resources to put similar systems in place. Mick, if you're listening right now, I respect the hell out of you, dude. You're one of the smartest people in the country, but you're no match for the level of creativity and experience that I have to bring on the ground and in the psychic realms. I mean, we got political directors, platform directors, software engineers, surrogate comms director, front-end web developer, faith engagement director, data, accounting, director of financial operations. You guys got a lot. You got a lot going on your team, but you are woefully unprepared for psychic defense. From a distance, I can read your memories. I can hear you calling to your mother on the beach at the age of 5. You may be an expert in network security, but you're going to need a lot more than that to defeat Donald Trump. The dark psychic force leveraging collectivized fear and hatred in the underbelly of our society. That's what you're competing with. And the positivity that you see in the Buttigieg campaign, you throw all the money you want to try to leverage positivity. It's not the same. Social movements. Yeah, okay, I have some experience in marketing. I am aware that you can stimulate action by first simulating it. But that's why I'm making this video. Everything you've heard about Russian bots, Mayor Pete's staff is capable of doing this. They have the technology. This is a competition, and I'm willing to do anything to win. He thinks like that. That's the type of leadership this man has to bring, and his campaign is running like that. So let me tell you, if it's possible, if it's thinkable, they're already on it, man. They've been doing it since the summer. They're running false flag Russian troll tactics to break Andrew Yang's base from within, to break Bernie Sanders' reputation. The myth of the Bernie bro. Man, some people in Bernie's base have said, hey, the Bernie supporters I know in real life are very loving people. Why do Bernie supporters have such a bad reputation online? Some of y'all are blaming it on Russians, but our intelligence community is tracking interference from not only Russia, but from China, from North Korea, from Iran, from Pakistan, from India. But snooping is a thing. And Master Hacker Mick Baccio, he knows all about this. This is very 101 kind of stuff. The Yang Gang should know about this. When you are going to do When you're going to do covert operations online, you first must take control of another machine on the other side of the world. So, for example, if you had some kind of beef with North Korea, well, you don't want to have the network security logs that document that this attack came from New Hampshire. So from New Hampshire, you would take over a machine in China. From there, take over a machine in Israel. And then attack North Korea from Israel. And if they go through the logs, if these people are smart, they might figure out that the attack originated from China. People in the Tulsi camp and many Bernie supporters are well aware of the history and the effectiveness of false flag attacks. And very few people are able to visualize how this can occur online. Everything that you've heard about the Russians in 2016 is true, Except it's not just Russia. Most Russians are within. Are you aware of the Roy Moore race? There was a Senate race in Alabama in which a firm, New Knowledge, they employed Russian-like tactics to divide, confuse, and distract voters by sharing disinformation, wedge issues, putting on the appearance of this guy's supporter to be nasty, messing up the reputation. For example, let's say you supported Elizabeth Warren and you had some kind of thing up against Bernie. Well, if you attack Bernie while wearing Liz's shirt, that's just going to make Liz look bad. So why don't you put on an Andrew Yang shirt and attack Bernie? That way, not only are you attacking Bernie, but you're making Andrew Yang look bad, leaving more room for Liz. Now, Elizabeth Warren supporters, some of them are very academic, and some of the smartest people that we have support Liz. Some of the smartest people we have support Pete. But they wouldn't, the organic supporters would never even consider doing something that unethical. Tulsi supporters, I can't speak for all of us, but we have seen evil in the world. We know that evil is out there. And if you are capable of being evil and you have the resources, it's going to happen. That's why it's very important for Tulsi to keep her funds clean. Her reputation is spectacular once you get past the smears. Everything looks good. And on Mayor Pete's side, there's a very similar thing where once you work through the corporate funding and the wine caves and the myth about lack of black support, you're left with having to make a trust fall on whether or not to believe this person. Now, Pete and I are the same age, so I want to give him benefit of the doubt and say he's a good dude. He's a good dude. The people around him, though, there is big money going into propping this guy up, and he can't quit now because they got a gun to his head. Is that the type of leadership you want to vote for? Not me. That's not the type of America that we should be going. That's a continuation of the way things already are. You hear some people try to say he's a deep state plant or whatever, but that's just a metaphor. The whole concept of deep state is about the people around the figurehead. Lis Smith is getting paid $24,000 a month to deflect and reform anything that you can throw on Pete. So why should you attack Pete if Liz is just going to clean up the mess anyway? Well, it would be pretty hard to attack Liz. They've tried that already. She's got a Steve Bannon connection, but I've looked into it, and it appears to be guilt by association fallacy. Just because you worked with Steve Bannon in some capacity doesn't mean that you share any ideological whatever with him. There are other ways to break Liz's faith and convince her to look for a new job ASAP. I know $24K a month is pretty hard to beat, but that's where the spirit comes in. In times of crisis, all that money goes away, and you look at what's really important. There's patriotism at the heart of all of these people. Liz's staff, this whole software engineering staff really creeps the hell out of me. And there's no way to prove that they're doing anything. I'm just saying from experience that when an entity has a lot of money and they got a lot of power, they're going to do anything they can to win. Mayor Pete has already said out loud that that's the type of competitiveness. He's willing to say or do anything to win. It's out of his control now. Mayor Pete, like many presidents in modern times, he is a symbol. He is a figurehead of a bigger, deeper hierarchy of control. Stay the hell away from Mick. This guy's one of the most powerful people in the country, and I recommend blocking him. On Twitter, he's called No Hack Me. Okay? Find him, just block him, alright? Don't let this guy have any... Oh my god. Who knows what kind of data this guy's been collecting on all of us, you know? He makes it look like he's coming from the defense standpoint. And hey, maybe he is. Because, hey, if you took out Mayor Pete's network, his whole hierarchy would come crashing down. Because money is what ties all of this together. And they have a chain of command thing going where all the volunteer organizers have to report to the deputy organizers. They have to report to the regional organizers. They have to report to someone higher up than that. It's a corporate bureaucracy already. They've designed this as if it was a startup. And they have 500 people on staff who are paid more than you. They're paid more than me. So I'm going to conclude. I want you to think about that when you're out there promoting your candidate, that love will always overcome money. And these people are very skilled. They look really good on paper, okay? But that is no match for the experience that you have to bring with the heart and the passion. Doing it for the right thing, okay? Getting down to holistic patriotism. What kind of country are we trying to build with each other? And whether it's Yang or Bernie or Tulsi or whoever it is you support, I want you to think twice about how powerful Mayor Pete's entire staff is. You have to recognize this as a threat. There's people on Twitter or whatever that deny this as a threat. Oh, Pete's a neo-lib shill. He'll be gone soon. Nobody. There is big money going into making sure that this guy's going all the way no matter what. And he has people on staff who are much smarter than either of us. Deny this threat at your own peril. But the good news is, spirituality can overcome the robots. Marianne Williamson knew this. Andrew Yang wants us to coexist with the robots. I'm not afraid of that. I think humans can outsmart artificial intelligence for quite some time because we will always be able to find new angles. You cannot teach artificial intelligence lateral thinking in the true sense. The ability to continue to search for solutions after you've already found the correct solution and do what appears to be the wrong thing to arrive to a new place from which you can simulate lateral thinking in a robot, but humans are going to be able to come up with ways to hide from these things. Now, I am transmitting this to you through the web. Okay, so Mick is going to see this. Mayor Pete's data analytics staff is going to see this. I'm not afraid. What they can't see, what we're doing on the ground, okay? You know why paper ballots are important? They're unhackable. You know, loose leaf, taking it back to pen and paper. Hey buddy, I'm not pretending to be a hacker, but I used to code on paper. My teacher, he made us code on paper, and he would read it, he would parse it, and compile it in his head while reading it, and if it was wrong, he would hand it back to us. He taught us not to type anything into a computer until you know that it's going to work. Smart man. But, like I'm saying, it's all on paper, and there's things that we're doing on the ground and on the astral plane that Mayor Pete's staff is woefully unprepared to handle, and we will defeat them. You know, I have ethical concerns with how he has to throw money at women and people of color to support him. It's really weird, but hey, money talks. Like I said, Lis Smith is getting $24,000 a month to pretend to love Mayor Pete. Well, you know what? Mayor Pete and I are from the same graduating class. I think he's a good dude, but he is in some deep trouble, man. And it's going to take a miracle to stop how far this money can take him. The good news is, I believe in miracles. Miracles are not action at a distance. Miracles are a series of decisions that we make collectively through our visualization, intentions, and moving step by step towards the future that we visualize. The powers that be have gotten us into what appears to be a stranglehold. The tentacles of this beast across all the resources, everything that we use, down to the money itself. But hey, wake up. Turn off the computer. Put down the phone for a second. Freedom is still there. The principles memorialized in the Declaration of Independence are still with us. The power of the people, the unalienable right to alter destructive government, to bring the government back to its original purpose, to secure life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The government's role is to secure those rights. That is still with us. That has never gone away. And to invoke these principles, you must live it. Okay? The Fifth Amendment isn't something you say to a cop. The Fifth Amendment is something you do. The First Amendment isn't something you ask permission for. You don't have permission for any of these stuff. These rights are inalienable. Unalienable. Inalienable. You have your own definition of God, as you should. You ask anyone what they think God is, you're going to get a different answer. When they tell you that God bestowed these rights upon us, you don't have to be afraid, because you get to make your own definition of what that means. America is an insane experiment where we collectively create together. And the ability of the people to alter or abolish destructive government is what freed the slaves. It's what got women's right to vote recognized. It's what gave Mayor Pete the ability to marry the person he loves. Like I said, I think Mayor Pete's a good guy. I just have a feeling that he got in a little too deep, you know? And there's no way for him to back out now. There's a lot of money riding upon this. Too many people will be disappointed. There are powerful people who want to see this man get elected. And they're going to do anything to win. But we are winning, because it's going to take a lot more than money to defeat Donald Trump. It's going to take heart. It's going to take some spirit. It's going to take some creativity. All right? I've looked at all 500 members of Pete's paid campaign staff, and they are no match for the level of creativity and experience that I have to bring. And whatever it is you're doing out there to support your candidate, I want you to keep your eyes on the prize. Be careful what you see online. So much of this is fake and tailored for what they think you want to see, or what they think you don't want to see. So be careful with your own mind, because there's a war on for your mind. I'll leave it at that. Like I said, this info is publicly available. I didn't do anything illegal to get this information. So sue me, bro. you got nothing. Besides, this is a ground game. We're going to keep knocking on doors. We're going to keep doing creative things that you can't even imagine. By the way, Michael Bennett hired a Bill Clinton strategist, and this cat, he knows how to win without even going online. They've done it before. My grandpop told me a few weeks ago, that's the way it's always been done in the past. Knock on doors, connect with people. Every person you meet, there's a butterfly effect to them telling other people. Mayor Pete's got a lot of money to reform his image and commit Russian troll bot false flag attacks to discredit the reputation of Yang Gang and Bernie Sanders, but you know what? I think most of us can see through that. And we can see it the way his campaign is being run as an indication of the type of future of America that we're signing up for. I feel at home in the Tulsi Gabbard campaign. A decentralized campaign is unbreakable. If you want to take down Tulsi Gabbard, you got to take down all the individual nodes first. You got to smear me first. Good luck, buddy. Bring it on. The best place to hide is out in the open, and everything that you need to know about me is already there. If you don't want it printed, don't do it. I've been using the internet since the mid-90s, and we were told that anything you say or do on the internet can be replicated infinitely, maybe even distorted or altered. So be careful what you say online. I don't know if you've ever read the license agreement for Facebook or Twitter, but everything you put on them is not yours anymore. And by uploading this to YouTube, it's not mine anymore. This is my gift for the world. I'm not getting paid to do this. It's just my civic duty. And you can see that too. You have a little bit of that in yourself. I can feel it. You made it this far. We're going to keep this going. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. This concludes my second presentation on emerging threats to multiple campaigns. Aloha.